I'll defy any Foley artist would say they would never want their own space.
To take what we wanted to do further, we had to build our own place. We wanted something that we could do the sound that we want to do, you know, so we had to design it. I'm Rob Price.
I'm Jason Swanscott.
And we're currently sitting inside the Foley Studio, Earthsound Foley, which we kind of built together about a year ago, and this is where we perform, record Foley, sound effects, stuff like that. Lots of films recently.
Guy Ritchie films, quite a bit of TV we've done a few adverts for sort of Lego and things like that, which can be fun. Whatever's thrown at us, we put sounds on. A lot of people just think I walk on a spot all day.
A Foley artist, obviously named after someone called Jack Foley, who originated this kind of art form. Somebody who's performing bespoke sound effects to picture that mostly are mimicking what the actors are doing on screen. So putting up the footage of the film on the screen, copying what the actors does, sometimes augmenting what they do, replacing what they do, but essentially bringing those sounds into the show. Back in the day, a lot of the Foley artists came from theatre or acting backgrounds.
Or dancing.
Or dance, yeah. Jason will have to not only see what's the sync of this particular action that's happening, but like he's trying to mimic a character primarily.
So it could be a 3-year-old little girl running across the floorboards in slippers, or it could be a 6-foot tall blonde with red stilettos on. I've actually got a couple of pairs of them as well.
Or it could be the killer creeping through the house, leather boots, got a bit of creak on, yeah. You know, got a bit of menace. Some of these things are tropes, but there's other like really subtle things you can do. A character just hangs up a step for like half a second in hesitation. These are all subtle things that work on people, which is mainly what you're doing in all areas of sound design for film. Process of Foley, what you are going to do on a film or a project, it does differ by project, by person you're working with. You begin by doing what's in Foley is called the moves, which is essentially performing the cloth or clothes movements of the actors as they're moving around. And it gives you a good chance to kind of get a sense of the project. You're putting this kind of base layer in. We'll then probably start doing footsteps. The different surfaces in the program, recording the footsteps, getting into the characters, getting a sense of who the characters are, how we want to kind of drive the story and do the performance elements of it. And then we have the spot effects. So, you know, anything that an actor interacts with physically in a film, we provide a sound effect for it. Sometimes you would augment sounds with stuff, but quite often you're trying to record, you know, bespoke stuff. Did a film last year that was a nice film called The Wonder. A lot of walking up and down these kind of moors and over kind of bracken and all these different like textural things, and a lot of these kind of dresses sort of dragging over the grasses. And we did a film last year where we were recording in a quarry. We went into a disused quarry, and we wanted to get these like slides and rolls down these slopes, and he just thought the best way to do it is actually just fall down this slope. So it was covered in cuts and bruises.
Yeah. Well, I thought this would be all right. This will sound good. I was trying to do Jake Gyllenhaal falling 20 foot down this slope. Rob's got the mics and blah, blah, blah. I said, "You ready?" He said, "And I jumped." And I was about halfway down, I was thinking, what am I doing? I'd always get all ripped to pieces, and I got down, he's like, "Yeah, it sounded good there, you want to go again?" I was like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely what Jason is often bringing to it, is like throwing himself into a sound. You know, someone like kicks through a door, he may well kick through the door. There's definitely like an element of reality when you really like attack a sound properly and just put your physicality into it.
I don't know if you can see who laid it. Left me mark there.
Jason's worked in almost every studio that's ever been, probably, in this country. I was working in a lot of different places, freelancing around. Then I started a company. I was working out of a little studio in Elstree. To take what we wanted to do further, we had to build our own place. So that's been the journey of the last sort of year or so, been doing this.
We kind of did tell the farm what we were going to do, but we kind of...
They didn't really understand when we were giving them the plans, yeah.
It's 5 metres that side, down to just under 4 metres this side. So the whole space we're in is just over 1,000 square foot, which I believe makes it the biggest in the country.
There was a bit of a lack of larger studios in the UK, a lot of them closing down. stuff being done in smaller spaces, which is fine, you know, but we wanted something that we could do the sound that we want to do, you know, so we had to design it.
A lot of studios have like one surface and they lay their surfaces on that surface. The outside is all just original farm floor. So we dug maybe 10 by 10 metres and we built ourselves a grid of concrete going straight down to the earth on every one of these crosses you see. So they're all separated, they're all decoupled from each other. So there's no resonance from that surface through to that surface.
The other thing that we're quite lucky with is we were able to slant the ceiling. Because of the size of the room and the dimensions, the way we calculated it, we're not dealing with a lot of room modes and stuff.
I'll defy any Foley artist would say they would never want their own space. Because I would say they're probably not telling the truth. I would say that a lot of them might go, oh no, I don't want mine. They'd rather go to a studio somewhere, do a day's work and go home. This is my dream because, you know, this is my life now. Apart from me, you know, my wife and my kids and my dog, this is my life. This is what I do. That is a big part of the reason I did it. And you know, Rob would have his views on his. But yeah, we always thought it was going to be a good idea, and that's why we kind of invested all our money and time into it. So we've got a tarmac here, and basically what I've done here, this is tarmac. That's just a plain bit of concrete, and this is just one big surface. What I can mess up for jungles, dirt paths, farms. Then over here I've got all my different gravels. I can go from dust to shingle to beach if we have to, and we can obviously clear this up in minutes and relay new surfaces. That was the idea of having one big surface what I can just clear up and just lay down again. I mean, even we did a film set in World War II a couple of months back, and obviously explosions, buildings collapsing, and they're walking across rubble. So it's simply, you know, you just drag your feet about in it. Yeah, little prop doors, so there I can kick them in. Got orange boxes behind there which you put in between them for crashes. Little bathroom cabinets, little wall of light switches. And when people come in, like other Foley artists or editors or sound supervisors, they say to us, you can actually tell, there's a feeling you can tell that it's been built by an artist and an editor. It's all been built and thought about by us, right? Normally, where would you go? You normally go from paving slab to dirt. Normally, if you're walking down a road, you're going to walk across grass. So that's why they're so close to each other.
What you want to do, or every show or program's different, you always have to come up with these new things. So in a way, we wanted that slightly modular element to it, where these pits can be changed whenever we want to add something or change something. These slightly less so, these are kind of in, but you know, for example, we might look at this liner one day and go, you know what, we want a different liner on there, we'll take it all up and change it. And that you can only really do when it's sort of your space, you know, you don't have to knock on someone's door and ask. We've just installed Dynaudio Core 59s. We've got them in an LCR at the minute. A lot of mixers that we really work a lot with are pre-mixing on Dynaudios. What we wanted was to have two different rigs in this room, so we could be checking different types of monitoring, you know, because you don't always get all the information, you know, you're trying to work out how this sound is going to play. Monitoring with that kind of accuracy is really, really helpful, especially stuff like, you know, the accuracy on kind of transients, and because Foley, you're sometimes recording these very small particular sounds, or you're sometimes recording like someone smashing through a wall. You do need a bit of a speaker that can translate all of these things. And accuracy in the transients is really important when you're listening to stuff like footsteps, something that's not like accentuating the kind of bottom end too much. You actually want clarity on how much of that there is. So yeah, no, I've been like really, you know, pleased with the sound of them so far, and we're using them every day, and yeah, really working for us. So
it's not an easy job. Yeah, we make it a laugh. We do make it a laugh, and I am a bit of a joker, but that's part of my job. That's part of my performance in a room as well.
It's really difficult to get into, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. People who are sufficiently determined and keep going for it. There are very few Foley artists, but there needs to be more. The thing is, there's a small group of artists, but you can reach out to them and contact them. They might all give you a different answer about how this thing is done. So talk to 2 of them, talk to 3 of them. But yeah, just keep trying to talk to these people and kind of work your way in. It is most of the time a nice like conversation with somebody will probably get you into a studio to look around. That might turn into something else, you know.
I'm not saying you know, coming in your, you know, hundreds of thousands. But you know, it's a nice opportunity, you know. And we've built but the best place in the world. No, I'm joking. You told me not to say that.
Strike all of that.